My name is Sean Hegland. I went to Illinois State University and I was initiated into Mu Upsilon chapter.
Hello, my name is Donner Call. I'm a sophomore at Loyola University, Chicago, and I'm a proud member of Tau Kappa Epsilon, the Epsilon Kappa chapter.
My name is Oscar Jimenez. Went to Knox College, Delta chapter.
My name is Michelangelo Palazine. My fraternity name is Plutonius, and I went to Northeastern Illinois University, which I truly liked.
I believe fall 2009. Yeah.
I officially got initiated and became a full-fledged member of Tau Kappa Epsilon in November of 2013.
I became a Teke in the fall of 2010, I believe. Might be off on that one, but yeah, I believe it was fall of 2010.
In 1977, I became a Teke.
My major at ISU was biological sciences.
Did you by any chance minor in anything?
No, I did not minor in anything.
Biology, mostly genetics and molecular and cell biology, developmental.
Business management with a minor in psychology.
Currently, I'm a pharmacy technician. It's not great, but it pays my insane loans from Knox. Applying to graduate school, and hopefully that will work out.
What I do now is I actually am very happy that I run a company called Financial Impact. I'm a wealth manager, I'm a licensed insurance agent, and I actually help people save money and make money. And I have different openings that I do. We do a lot of things. We do a lot of seminars, a lot of workshops. And my main thing is to help a lot of people and give back. And we do a lot of charitable things for people. And in the business, basically, it's helping people have, it's funny, people coming to me with problems and they want to know if I can find a solution for them. And that's how the financial business got into many other little companies within my major company, where we help stop foreclosures, we help people with their credit problems, we help them with retirement planning, we help them save money for college, we have investments, we have all kinds of little things, and that's what makes it really unique, and I really enjoy that.
I graduated in May. I found a job working as a herpetological research assistant for the Illinois Natural History Survey, and I had some family issues, so I had to quit that, and those issues have since been cleared up, so currently I'm looking for employment. Originally I joined Teke just for the parties, everything that goes along with like the freshman curiosity, but eventually everything else kind of grew on me, and I started to see the bigger picture, see things for more than just the parties. Having a support system of people there at school that would actually be there, at least one person would always be there for you. Need something as simple as like a buck or something, or it could go as far as your girlfriend broke up with you and you needed someone to talk to, or even with me, it came down to one of my big brother died and I needed someone to talk to, and it was then that I realized that there was more to the fraternity than just what people see, more than what the public sees.
I met someone in Teke the first week I was at school. It was Paulie Restivo, and I was just like over the weekend I met him, and he just was a really approachable guy. I met a few of the other guys too, and they convinced me to come out to an event, and at the event they were just really approachable. I met other people, through water polo, other people in other fraternities, and they just weren't as opening and welcoming, as approachable as the people in Teke were, and so that's why I ended up joining Teke.
I guess the person who was soon to be my big brother there, as well as just the guys there, were pretty funny, so I thought it'd be fun to do it.
I really didn't have any idea about Teke, except that Mike Miller kept talking that he was alone here. He talked about his chapter, what fraternity was about. And I had an idea. I mean, I seen Animal House, and I seen all this, and when I went to Northeastern, it was only because I had been at another college too, and I transferred over here, and I always wanted to be part of something that was unique. I don't follow anybody, but I like to be part of something. And so therefore, the way Mike brought it to us is that he wanted to start something here. He told us about the ideals of Tekes Fraternity. We had this meeting. He was a real cool guy, and our faculty advisor Charlie, yeah, that's right, Charlie Barber. We took his classes and stuff, and he was a great guy, and it just felt unique, and what he promised, what would happen for us in the future. He says the brotherhood, you'll never forget it. It's in your blood. It's in your blood. You're going to be very proud of it. Things will go your way. You're going to experience a lifestyle that you've never experienced before, and it's really true. Being a fraternity brother at this point, you have a bond that surpasses anything. It's like family blood. I could say like a family, but it's tighter than a family, believe it or not. Because there are just some things you don't do with your family that you do with the fraternity brothers. It's just that sacred. It's that tradition and that honor that you have among ourselves, and the way that you're able to talk to someone and get right answers. That's basically what happens with the fraternity. And when he explained that, some of that I didn't understand at the time. I do definitely understand it now. It makes all the sense in the world, and that much prouder to be a Teke.
There's like 15 people, and then we joined, and there was like 20, and then in like 2 years, everybody else were like seniors and juniors, and they didn't have a sophomore class at the time. So by the time I was a sophomore, we had like 10 members, and so it was a pretty hard getting new people and like having money to really keep the house going. But got through it and have a decent amount of people now, to my knowledge. I think about 36. It was a really interesting roller coaster of emotions, I guess. We had a fun time.
When I first became an active at ISU, the situation wasn't that bad. I think we had just gotten off of probation and could start rushing again. Everything was looking good. After my pledge class of only 4, we moved on, and I think we took on like 13, and then eventually that grew to about 20 at the pledge class after that. But then afterwards, the school started taking notice to a lot of the activities that were going on in our fraternity and other fraternities as well, which eventually led to them investigating into the activities that fraternities were throwing, and that eventually led to my Upsilon chapter being suspended until 2017.
Loyola has no official house, but honestly we have a lot of smaller apartments where we consider almost houses. We have events there and we still meet there. Although it'd be nice to have an actual house, especially to have chapter and larger events, I don't think it's a setback or anything not to have one.
I don't know. I thought it was awesome. We had Delta chapter has the oldest fraternity house in America. I'm not sure. I think that's the statistic. I'm not sure.
From whatever, I think it might be that it's the oldest Teke house, but you could also be
house.
but you could also be right about that potentially.
It's probably just the only Teke house. Oldest Teke house. So it's fairly old and drafty, but it's also it's a good looking house. It's comfortable. It's warm. It's nice. I lived in the house my 3 years that I was active Teke, and spent like 2 summers in there doing research, and I enjoyed every bit of it, not having to care having like people there who I know, people there who I care for, and who I can yell at for being too loud without any real repercussions. Sometimes, but still, it's a very comfortable idea to like have a home, to like always have a home away from my actual home. I miss the place. It's a nice place. I think it sold the keys, but it's not my fault.
No, well, Northeastern is 4-year. It's the university, so I think it was just right there. I never pursued anything more after that because I was busy working, and been working ever since right after college. So I've just been very happy with what I've been doing in the businesses, the things that I do.
Yeah, no, I consider going to graduate school, and if there is a Tekes chapter there, then it'd be nice to interact with them, I guess. I don't know. It's not like a thing where I won't go if it's not there, but it'd be nice if it is. I think it'd be interesting if they decide on their own to join Tekes. I'd suggest and tell them probably like later high school about my times there, like while they're maybe like in that transition between high school and college. Probably open up a bit. I don't know. I don't plan on having children for a long fucking time. But I wouldn't like push them towards Tekes per se, but maybe just present it as a nice option for them. I think that would be a good way to go about it. But I don't know if you think about that, so damned if I know.
Well, I'm very proud to say that, yes, I do have a son. His name is Julian, and he's a Tekes. In fact, when he was at Lane Tech, he had several scholarships because he was in baseball, and he got several scholarships, and he says, where should I go? And we talked about it, and he wanted the warm weather, so he went down to Florida to play, which was nice and everything there, but he didn't join anything over there. He was his craft, what you want to call it, was playing baseball and studying, and he had the scholarship. So when he injured himself, unfortunately, and he comes back up to here, before he went there, actually, he was at Triton, and there was no really fraternities or anything like that that I'm aware of at Triton College. But that's when I was seeking for scholarships, and so he went there, comes back, and then he goes to Northern. Then one day I get the call. And that was about the best call I ever had in my life. My son is the world to me, and one nice thing about it is that, he calls me and says, Dad, I'm pledging Tekes. I said, he's pledging. I said, oh, well, that's him. What are you pledging with? He said, no, Tekes Fraternity. I said, wow, that was great. I loved it. I was so happy. I was elated. I said, man, he's my legacy. That's great. So I started asking questions. I said, how's the Hageman? How many brothers? What house? What does it look like? Do they have? I was asking a mile-a-minute questions. And he goes, Dad, slow down. Wait, I'm not in yet, And I said, oh, you will be. You're a Tekes. You're a Tekes, right? I said, Dad, I'm just pledging right now. He says, oh, you will be a Tekes. Don't worry about it. Be positive. Everything. Listen to what they say. Do it. Everything. And I was encouraging him. I was so happy. And then, I did call some of my brothers. And I said, hey, my son's going to be a Tekes. Of course he had to go through the pledging, of course, but I was just so happy that he considered Tekes Fraternity. And I did say to him, did you check the other ones out by any chance? And he says, and he laughs, he says, yeah. He says, the Tekes are the coolest that they're at Northern. I feel good with the guys. And I said, great. So he had gone with his friends, checking out other fraternities, And he says when he got done with it, he liked Tekes. They just had a better fit for him. He says they're more real. They're more they're fun. They were just more exciting to him, and that made me feel really good.
The deferred recruitment. This is the reasoning that we received from the school, and also who was in contact with the school at that time, was that it was due to grades that they were. Wanted to prevent freshmen having too low of grades, and so their reasoning was to have deferred recruitment. Now, although I don't really like it, I understand it. However, I don't think that Loyola is going about it the correct way. I think if you allowed the the freshmen to go to events put on by each fraternity, then you could actually it could be more process of getting to know the fraternity. Each separate one, rather than not being able to go to only info sessions, because although it's good to go to info sessions, they're a really important part of the recruitment process, it is not the best way to get to know the brothers. Although we tried to go out afterwards, to dinner, invited whoever, but them not being able to go to any other event really hindered them from getting to know us as a fraternity. They only got to know, our ideals, which are, although important, it's the people behind the ideals that make the ideals important.
Yeah, I've heard that. I was actually one of those people until I realized that there could be some. You could look at it as some kind of truth in that, because when you join a fraternity, you're joining a larger group of people, and you're not always going to like get along with these people, and you probably wouldn't be friends with them in the real world. So I guess in essence, I guess you could be buying those friends, but you buy your way into a group of people, and then that group of people, you make friendships that last longer than the money. So when you graduate, you're going to keep in touch with all these people, and you're not going to be paying for those. So essentially, you start off, the payment gets you in the door, but you're not paying for your friends in the long run. That payment, what you're paying for essentially is you're funding all the activities and things that will be going on in the house, as well as food, insurance, things like that. So no, I don't think it's just, I guess in the long run, it's not just buying friends.
I mean, I think it's just more ignorant, because I mean, you pay money to be in clubs, you pay money to do a lot of things, money's involved with everything, so just saying that you're paying money for a fraternity leaves out the idea that you're also putting your time and energy into it, as well as like the money goes to a lot of places. It's not just paying money for the heck of it. I don't know, I think it's just having a stigma against a certain facet of our culture, and then just kind of figuring out something bad against it.
I take that very personal. Sometimes they talk, and I will ask them, so where did you hear that, or where did you get your opinion? Or please tell me what you said, because if they have no substance behind what they say, then I don't value their opinion at all. You see, that's how I'm very direct. If somebody has a comment about something, or they want to downplay the fraternity or whatever, I said, please tell me your experience. Tell me why you feel that way. Why did you open your mouth and make a statement? You see, is it to make a statement, to say a statement, to be whatever? Does not, then that's totally, I really don't want to talk to that person because they have no intelligence. But if someone's going to get out there and give me facts and something happened to them or whatever, then that's different. You must consider the source before I even answer that kind of a question. When somebody came up to me or something like that. But for the most part, I've not heard. I've had a few people say, "Well, I don't know about fraternity, a bunch of rugged people, this, and that." I said, "Oh yeah, well that's great. I'm glad you feel that way, because that's what you do. You just don't belong to the organization, and you totally miss out on everything because you don't understand us. Obviously, something must have happened to you. I feel very sorry, but I just look at why do they say the things that they do. That's the first thing. Once you find out why they said it, do they have any reason, any proof, any good argument?
My response would be that I'm friends with, I have friends that are not in fraternities. I have friends in other fraternities, and I don't pay any dues to them. I think this, no matter what, if you're in an organization, especially one that's popular, then you're gonna have, so to speak, haters. People who don't, they're not in it, they don't know about it. So they, obviously they're going to try to bring it down. I don't believe that about my friends at all. I think that we're, a bunch of men that like-minded, that want to, join an organization that's bigger than just, just our school, more national.
Where do I start? You have to understand the time that I pledged, we went through a lot of things. And the time that I got to be a brother, that day was unique. Very unique. And the things we did after that were leading leadership, stuff like that. I will tell you a funny story. One of the times that we used to do the caravan down to Champaign, Pedro would drive the van, and we had CBs. And, it would be fun to be communicating and with the truck drivers, and we'd go a little fast, and so we wouldn't get any tickets. But by the time we got down to Champaign, I was driving, and I had a real nice car too, and I wasn't. It was one of the first times I went down to Champaign, and I'm driving, and I'm in some drive, whatever. I don't know what it was, and we're looking for the teak house, and we kind of like end up. Pedro went this way, and it took a wrong turn, whatever. And the turn I took looked like a road, so I'm on the road. Turned out to be I was in the quad, and there's some stairs, and I said, "Oh shoot!" And we're going, "Mike, what are you doing?" And I go, "Oh, so I don't know. Let's just go." And I went down the stairs, and my car bumping down. It was funny, But you do things like that, and we did get to the house and everything. So that's a funny experience that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the tightness with the different things that we did together. It just was totally unique. There's just so many adventures that we've gone through.
One of the things I really miss is, like, after a weekend, like before chapter, everybody just kind of waking up and just kind of coming together before lunch, or like right when we're about to do our liaison for food. We kind of just talked and relayed the stories of the night, and just like the good and bad that assailed our stupidities. I mean, I had a great time. I think I don't remember anything specifically, but I like the feeling, the camaraderie, I guess. I don't know. I kind of miss that a lot.
Okay, my name's Dylan Reel. I'm the philanthropy chair of Tau Kappa Epsilon Kappa here at Loyola University in Chicago. I'm the philanthropy chair, and today we're hosting our event called Crafts for Kids.
Can you explain what Crafts for Kids is?
Crafts for Kids is we essentially set up here in our student center, and we have kids walking by, students walking by. They set up, or we're set up, and they'll come in and they'll make cards for the kids of St. Jude's, and then they'll have cards to open up on Christmas.
Can you explain the relationship between Tekes and St. Jude's?
Oh, so St. Jude's is our national philanthropy. We raised a ton of money for them. Last year our chapter raised $20,000 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So St. Jude's is what we do most of our philanthropy events around. We try and help out around the campus, but at the end of the day, St. Jude's is where we spend most of our efforts and money.
Cool. So can you explain a little bit more about Crafts for Kids? How long has it been going on for?
Yeah, so this is our second year of Crafts for Kids. We started at 10 o'clock this morning, and we're winding down. It's over at 4. The goal this year is to make 500 cards. Last year we had like 250, 260. So we're trying to double this year.
Okay, cool. And I remember going to the event last year. Are you donating? Do you also offer donations for this one? Like you had like little red ribbons that said St. Jude.
Yeah. So we did that last year, and we found that it didn't really work. We were still able to raise $20,000 for St. Jude's, and we decided that we would focus our money efforts, focus on getting funds in our event in the fall or the spring, and then this event just be a big publicity thing, just getting people out. Making cards isn't really a big thing. We're not asking for money. We're just, asking people to stop by and just make a card for us.
So it seems like you guys have a lot of fundraising events going on throughout a lot of just the fall and stuff. Yeah.
I wouldn't say we have a lot of fundraising events, but we definitely do have a lot of philanthropy events. Last week we co-sponsored a philanthropy event with Phi Sig here at Loyola University. They did a thing about women and exercising, and we co-sponsored that. Next week we're co-sponsoring with Alpha Chi Omega. We're co-sponsoring an event that is about sexual assault and awareness for women. Philanthropy is a big thing, especially here in Chicago. So we like to focus our efforts around the philanthropy and that side of it, rather than getting hung up on the whole Greek life thing. Philanthropy is definitely what we focus a lot on.
Has your work paid off, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. We get stuff from St. Jude's all the time thanking us. We're one of the smallest Tekes chapters. We were able to raise up there with the big guys like West Virginia, and we're able to keep up. And for us to be able to say that, it's just incredible. at the end of the night last year at our event, Jokes for Judes. We had people come out from St. Jude Children's Hospital, and they came up, they hugged us, and thanked us for coming out. It was just very emotional, very, I'm glad we can do something, that's bigger than just our chapter, do something to give back to the kids.
I think it's reasonable to assume then that you've been noticed by nationals.
Oh, absolutely. I started off this year, it's my second semester as philanthropy chair, and I started off with an email asking about when we're starting again and what events we'll be doing. But they wanted us to raise the bar, look at the scheme of things over 5 years, raise $100,000, which is what our chapter is striving to do.
Okay, so you just mentioned one part of your future endeavors. Can you describe any more detail the future endeavors in terms of philanthropy and service? And
stuff? Yeah, actually we just set the dates and got the contract signed for this spring. We'll be having, did you come out for Jokes for Judes?
I was notified of it last year, but I didn't go. So you're having it again? Yeah.
So what Jokes for Judes is, we got Second City to come to Loyola. They performed in one of our theaters, and their tickets are normally around $50 a pop, and we got them down to $15. We ended up raising like $8,000 just from that event, and then we got a $10,000 donation coming in from the outside. So we were able to really capitalize with Second City. This year we're going to have one of Loyola's improv groups open for them, but we're doing the same exact event and with the same people. Hopefully they bring their A game as they did last year.
All right, cool. Do you have any relations with the alumni to help you out with your philanthropy and service events?
Yeah. So we have an alumni. His name is Rich Carbonara. He came out to all of it. He's an attorney here in town, so he's busy, but he was here for most of it. Our chapter advisor, Rich, he was there. He came out to most of it. Ben Anderson, our other chapter advisor, he came to everything. So yeah, our alumni relations are pretty good. They donated some money, so that was good.
All right, Dylan, thank you, man, for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
I would say that it's less of how much Tekes is involved in my life, of how much I involve myself in Tekes. Because it's, you get out of, whatever fraternity you join is how much you put in. And so based on that, I mean, I do, and I go to events. Although I was not, the best recruiter, I did, go to the events, I'm definitely a part of it. I go up, I go chapter, I pay my dues, and I go to events. And I don't know, it's a hard question to ask. Because I'm rooming with a roommate who's also in TKE. I hang out with, I go to lunch and dinner with TKE, and then I'm going to be involved when we start putting on more events and more part of the process with the new candidates. So I think it's not as much of how much is Tekes in your life as how much do you involve yourself into Tekes.
I like the fact that Tekes Nationals will support you pretty much regardless of the circumstances until they have reason, until your chapter goes above and beyond to alienate themselves from nationals. I like how Tekes in general doesn't have a bias system towards who they rush, as some fraternities do. There's the old saying, if you can't go Greek, rush Tekes. I kind of like that because that means that's just a more open pool of people to rush from. I like the people that Tekes creates. I like the connections that you make through Tekes, the amount of people you meet, the regional conferences that are held, everything I mentioned, pretty much, and more.
Not for wealth, rank, or honor, but for personal worth and character. I like the ideal. It was, how do you say? It was very
appealing.
Yeah, it was appealing. It was telling them what they wanted, at least what they stood for, and I liked the people who was there at the time. I like the people who I thought were joining, or at least some of the people who were joining me. And me and my roommate were like, well, cool. It seems like a pleasant place. Yeah, that's about it.
I love Tekes in the fact that you're a brother for life, and that you can meet a brother at any town, any city, anywhere that you're going, which I have done. I met him in airports. I've met him in different cities, different conventions and things like that. You meet him in the bars. You meet him at work. Hey, I'm a TK. That's great. So yeah, I love taking the things that you meet people. It's for life.
I don't know much about how the whole system should improve on. Not really clear what would help.
Maybe getting the information out to us Teke members in a way in which we can give the proper information to naysayers. You as a member of Teke, an alumni or a current active member, should be privy to the information that Nationals has in order to fill in people so that rumors don't start. I think that you need to just squash that bug, get rid of the rumors by having the facts out there that are available. Other than that, I think everything's good.
I feel like whatever I say is just going to be just repeated. It's just repeating what I said beforehand. Just like really enjoy it. Just the people are good fucking people. Took care of each other. At least we tried to. Some people are shitty, but it's wherever you're gonna go. But I don't know. I still stay in contact with a lot of guys, and I'm happy to have been with, to have met a lot of people who I wouldn't have met if I hadn't joined there. I have a lot of good experiences, and I feel like it's one of the things, it is one of the, like any of my experiences, one of the things that have made me who I am now. Yeah. So, but I'm not sure specifically what I liked about it. I just know that I really enjoyed my time there.
My particular chapter, I like how everyone is different. Everyone is unique. Everyone's got they bring their own personality to it. It's not all one type of person. You have people from the military. You have people who are science background, who are business, people who are high energy, low energy, people who are really good with leading, and people that are really good at following. Yeah.
I think this first semester I could have more actively recruited some other other sophomores. I did talk to some of my close friends, but I feel like I could have been more active in that, and so I wish I was, because one friend of mine who, although I talked to another guy I talked to, and he wasn't going to join anywhere. I feel like if I was more actively convincing him, more like so to speak bugging him about it, he might have joined TKE. So and a few other friends the same way. That's the one thing I feel like I could have done better at. But even then, I still think we have a good group of guys for our upcoming class.
I guess I wish I was better at Hypotheses, but didn't have too many Brotherhood events as I should have.
A more active role. What happened was a lot of the older guys kind of just fade away while the younger guys kind of run rampant. I like to think, a lot of the older guys probably could do more. I would have voiced my opinion more, tried to, bring my years of wisdom that were in Teke to the situation in which we faced.
Well, I'm going to be gone this upcoming semester, but when I come back as a junior, I'm excited. I'm going to, have an apartment with some other Teke guys, and so I'm going to be a bigger part. I want to get more like in a jeweled position, hopefully. Just be more part. Right now, I'm only on committees because I know that I didn't want to take too much on. This is going to be a hard semester for me, and then also me being gone next semester. But when I come back, I'm just going to be more involved that way.
Yeah, I actually would. I know we look forward to our Founders Day, but you need something more like that. I would really like our chapter, Lem to Pi, kind of like take the lead on this, on the Alumni Association that we have on Facebook and everything else that we've tried to put together, but actually have every quarter alumni meeting, okay, and make it constructive and make something that we can all look forward to do, whether it's a service project going into helping another chapter, do recruiting or do maybe, and I really think this would be great, is let people know that the ones that are successful of the brothers that have positions where they can hire people or encourage people, there's an opening for jobs, or let them know what we've done in our profession that they can look forward to. Because a lot of times, in college you don't know exactly what you want to do, and or if that degree will ever work for you. So as an alumni, I think we've been through that. Those would be very important little seminars that we actually could do. We could really do something, and I might take part of that and talk to Tim and bringing up some ideas about getting something together really strong for the alumni, because I think it's about time. I really do. I really do feel that way.
Yeah, I think it was. So it's like I've said, I'm happy to have built the relationships I have with a lot of the people there, and it's nice to have a network behind me that I don't really utilize as much as I probably should, but I'm really happy to have gone through it all with my friends, and I guess to continue going through with it, but in different ways. In a less active role. Whenever anybody would need anything, I'm always there to help them out. And I'm happy to know that that I have people there and people outside who are happy to help me as well. So I think it was worth it.
God, yeah. I have no regrets. I just wish, in some ways, I was back in college. It was that much fun. The things that we did, whether they were silly, dumb, thoughtful, it was all well worth it, because there were things that we did that we realize today how much it meant to us, and possibly some things that we wish we could have done more for others that we didn't have time to. But all in all, I would never give it up. It's the most beautiful thought in the world. As long as I'm alive, I have that thought and that feeling of the brotherhood with me forever.
Never rush more members than you could take on, because eventually, if the older guys who have a lot of experience are heavily outnumbered by the younger guys for any kind of voting situation, it could be problematic, and the ones with the wisdom in situations like that won't necessarily have their opinion heard, and the younger newer members will always outnumber you, and you're stuck doing things by their way unless you can convince them to change their vote. Also, keep in touch with your alumni. Don't alienate them. They also are good for helping the real world. They can put you up for the night if you're ever in another town. They donate money to your causes all the time. I'd say don't alienate them. And what else? One last thing I'd say is, if you're an older member, don't just check out once it's your junior and senior year, move out of the house, and not care about what goes on. You're paying good money to be in there. Your friends are in there. You have years and years, maybe decades of culture and history in that house. And if you just take a back seat the entire time, and your house goes under, you're no more innocent than the next younger guy in the house who helped destroy it.
Don't take it for granted, I suppose. It'll be awesome while it lasted as an active, and it'll be also awesome while you're not an active. Just make sure you don't just leave it. Just don't care about anything that's happening around. Try to always be mindful of the people who you're with, and be mindful that you're not always going to be with them.
To my fellow brothers that are in college right now, I would say that look at yourselves where you want to be 5, 10 years from now. And you're going to see that it goes by very, very fast. So the time that you have now should be very, very important and valuable to you. So therefore, you should have a lot of honor, respect for others, respect for yourself. Encourage others to do well. Talk positive about as much as you can. No sense in gathering negative thoughts into your brain. It clutters it up, and you'll stress out more with your studies. And you'll find out that if you feel good about yourself and the brotherhood and what it's able to do, when they ask you to do something, volunteer a little bit more than often. Talk about your chapter to everyone you come in contact to. You know, just recruit 24 hours, basically. That alone would help the chapter. How does it help you? Well, public speaking. It helps you to be initiative, take incentive, be decisive, make decisions, which you're going to need later in life anyway. So all these things, as an active, you're going to incorporate. And when you do have your meeting people and things like that, and tell them about what could they do to help your chapter. And to the brothers, when you're talking to someone and they're acting a certain way and you know it's a little silly, let them know. And that's why we have the meetings. Let people know how you feel, and they will respect you for that. That's what I love about the brotherhood. That allows you to say things that normally could be taken the wrong way in many different ways, but we know how we handle that. And that's the best thing in the world. So actives, get active.